Hello everyone, Caroline here. Today I'm going to be working on the electric ink Inkscapes image, and they're digital images. If you've not seen my other videos, the digital images available to download from Electric Ink Designs. I'll put a link on the page for you. And the new collection, which is out on the 16th of June, is called Inkscapes, and it's lovely scenery like this and all sorts of things that are in the collection. And if you're on the groups, you'll be able to see all the fabulous samples the design team are doing. So I'm going to paint this. I was looking today, do you know, I've been on making YouTube videos since 2014. 11 years I've been on YouTube. How amazing is that, doing this sort of art and working with all these sort of things. And so today I just want to show you how I'm going to do this image just using Distress Oxides. You know me, I love playing with my Distress Oxides. So first of all, I'm going to do the sky, and I'm going to use Salty Ocean. Carly Duff has a workshop coming as well on the 21st of June that you can sign up for. So that's something to look forward to. And you can craft along. Just see a little bit of blue sky through there. Not putting too much on. And these are the clouds. Just a little bit of that on there. Like that. The paper I'm working on is Pink Frog 240 GSM. Because my printer won't take 300 GSM. So this is working absolutely brilliant. So I'm really pleased with it. It's great. So it's always good to get recommendations, isn't it? So there we are. And then I'm going to go for the trees. So let me just get my water pot. Make sure I've got rid of my blue off. And this is a mowed lawn. So I'm going to, it's quite a bright green. Just going to pop some water on that. Just doing all the trees now. Try and take off as much water as you can, because you've still got the colour on your brush and you really don't need a lot of water on. And it's less on your cardstock as well, so don't think you have to load it on. See, I mean, that's, as you can see, it's nearly dry, isn't it? So I've only got a little bit on there. The less water, the better. This is like a lovely park garden or a cottage garden. I'm going to do some lovely decoupage with this today. If you just enjoy having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and sitting and watching, painting, or you know, even crafting along, once you've seen it, you can get yours out. If you've bought the Inkscapes, you know, get this out and have a play along with my demo, if it's of help to you. There's leaves here. These beautiful plants. And a little bit of grass along the edge of that path. So all this is grass. So I'm just going very lightly with that. It's green, because I don't want to, I want it to be quite a delicate look to it. want it too strong, the colours. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want to do with it. It's your art at the end of the day. Here's the grass. So, I mean, that alone has just brought out the picture, hasn't it? Lovely, that. And I'm going to get my forest moss, which is a darker green. And I'm just going to pop that down there. On the glass at the side. I'm not sure if you can see the glass at the side here. I won't know until I watch it back. But just going under the trees here, just to get the how it's darker underneath, that is not catching the light. Let's take some of that off some of the water off. Like I say, I just want it gentle. And you can put a little bit of inside the trees, just a little bit of dark, where you can see in the trees. There are in the leaves little fine lines up like that, and that just sort of outlines the tree. And you see, don't forget you can water it down if you feel it's too strong. Just water it down. That's the best of oxides. They are so flexible. They're wonderful to work with. I've tried to get, over the years, tried to get as many colours as I can, and re-inkers, because you can paint with your re-inkers, as I've shown in my other videos. If it's a colour medium, you can paint with it. So these lovely trees here. Just getting that underneath. The weather says we're in for thunderstorms later. But it is quite warm today. Just want to get that on the edge there, so there's no white bits. And then again, with the dark coming up in fine lines. Let's get a fine brush. So you see, this is quite easy to do. Very, very doable. When you have a base like this, like Carly's done with this artwork, it makes it so easy for us to create our own little works of art. Again, I'm just going in with my water, taking some water off with my fingers, and just taking off any sharp edges. Like that. And if you go in with different shades of green, you know, it makes it very authentic. and not just a solid colour. Can you see with that how it's sort of 3D'd the trees? You know, we've only just started on that. I need some more of the dark green. Or you can use your paints that you've got to these leaves. And don't worry about leaving a bit of white on either, because, you know, that sort of highlights it, doesn't it? You don't have to go in with a white pen after. I'm going dark around here because it's shadowed, isn't it, with the plants? And then the edge of the grass here. Just along the edge. And these are little bushes here. Again, get your different colour greens in. The more colours that you get in it, the more natural it looks. So I'm just dotting here with colour. And that's just made a bit of a difference, hasn't it? Like that. Just going to get a little bit of green there. And just in here, where you've got the stems, for those plants. Same in here. Like that. And then with that dark again, just around that pot. And under the bench, the darker green. I think with the Distress Oxides, they have so many variations on the colours. It does help you to create an image like this, where you can build up different colours. So now I'm just going to wipe that green away. I can, let me just pop some green down here. That's like that. Let's get my hickory smoke. Again, just a little bit at the side. And with some water. Just mix it around. And colour in the path. Like that. Then just take the water off your brush and just brush into your palette just to get some shading along the edge of the path. Where's my fine one gone? Here we are. I don't want to get things like black soot out because I think that's too much for a pathway. And I think this has got sort of a concretey look to it. A stone effect. When it's dry, you can go back in and do more shading. So that's done that. I'll do the this pot as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a bit of hickory smoke with some walnut stain, just a tiny little bit, not much of that, but just a little bit, and mix them both together for this pot. Here. Then I'll get that walnut stain, just a little bit for doing shading. It's giving that a nice look, isn't it? And while I've got my walnut stain, I'm going to do all the wood. So put that on my glass mat. Add a bit of water, not too much. I'll just colour in this lovely pergola and bench. You can imagine being sat there reading a book, couldn't you? And the sun shining down. And then I'm going to just use no water on it, just going in that walnut stain, just to go down and do a little bit of shadow like that. And while I've got that walnut stain, I'm going to do the trees at the back. You can see there's lovely branches. And if you've got watercolor pens, you know, that's good as well to work with. Nothing too stark, just a hint of the colour in there, because it is in the background. And then a bit of ground espresso, which is darker again, for your shading. So those are your two browns, your walnut stain and ground espresso, that you can get some lovely shading with. You see that, the difference with that? Get that walnut stain down the side here. And now we can colour our plants. So I'm going to do these lupins here in Dusty Concord. And I've got Villainous Potion as well for shading. So just put a bit of water on there, just to colour those in nice and delicate. And down here. gorgeous garden. And then I'll get my villainous potion. I always want to call it villainous poison. So we're just dotting in there. Those little dots. Sort of giving shade on those plants, can you see? I don't have expensive brushes. You know, they're not famous makes. I've sent off for a Lavinia fine one that I want. But I think that's the first time I've ever bought a paintbrush that's not been from just a cheap set. And you know, if you've watched my videos, you'll see I've done a lot of painting. So you don't have to spend a fortune on your crafting to enjoy it, you know. So there's the loopings done. I just want to add a little bit of water on those. There we are. Then I'm going to get some picture spray. Oh, Carly's always called this pickled raspberry, hasn't she, for years? She makes us giggle with it. And this is all like it's like a cherry blossom, isn't it? But they are little pink flowers over the pergola or arbour, whichever one you want to call it. And I'm going to get my worn lipstick. Just to sort of dot in with extra colour. Just a slightly different pink, pinky red. It's coming together beautifully, isn't it? And I'm going to do these flowers here in a pink. So I'm going to go back into my picture spray. And then the worn lipstick. And my I've got festive berries, which is a red, but don't panic with it. It'll just bring out, can you see that bit of pink, like chrysanthemums? And that's just sort of shaded them and given it that little bit of a 3D look to it. When you think it's going to go on red, you know, it just enhances the pink, doesn't it? And then finally for these, I'm going to get my yellow, which I forgot to get out. And this is a fossilised amber. Just pop that at the side. Beautiful yellow. The bees love yellow, don't they, in lilac? And here. So you've got a little hint of yellow as well. That's a little bit round here. This is a bush round there, and at the bottom here. And then you probably think, what's she going to shade that with? Well, I'm going to shade it with Rusty Hinge. Or you could use Spice Marmalade. Get a bit of my pink again, just fill in that white area. There we are. Now, that's all dry, so I'm just going to get my hickory smoke again, wipe off my colour, my water, and I'm just going down again, that hickory smoke. And as you can see, it's just putting that nice little shadow along there, just along the path there, from the shade of the trees coming down. And then the shade of the plants over the path there, giving light and shadow. Then under each stone. And with my white pen, just a little bit of highlight where the light's showing there. It just highlights it. Bit of highlight. And then again, with my hickory smoke, this is a full colour today, isn't it? Having fun. Put a little bit of water on, and what I'm doing is I'm just going underneath those clouds like that. Clouds are not a flat colour, are they? When you look at them, there are all layers of colour to them. You know, even you can see sort of lines across them. And as Carly's put here some lines, but she knows exactly, you know, that clouds, that's how clouds are. So there are a few clouds scudding across there, and that's just made it a little bit more realistic. Water it down, blend it in. You can even do that with a bit of blue as well, if you want. A bit of that salty ocean. You can go with a little bit of blue. Like that. When you think of all the Distress Oxide colours we've used in this, without using any acrylic paints. But you can use acrylic paints the same. You know, you can tone them, you can water them down. But if you want to use your alcohol markers, you can do that. But there's that picture. Let's put it on a card, shall we? Let's move all these Distress Oxides out of the way. Always get your lids back on your ink pads. Let's turn that over. And what I've got is I've got a 7x7 card. This is 7" by 7". Let's get this open the right way today, shall we? And I've got a gold layer. This was a beautiful gold, like a satin, I got from a Crafter's Companion when I was down in the Cotswolds at Evesham Park. They have a lovely big shop there. If ever you go to the Cotswolds, call in there. And You'll come out with a bag full. So that's the gold. And then I've got a brown. Oops. Because these are the colours I wanted for this image. Sort of like a frame. You know, if you'd framed it. I mean, you could frame that, you know, for somebody as a gift. If you know, if they like original art like that. And then I've got this burlap that I got from the range in town, and it's self-adhesive back, so I backed it onto some brown card to make it easier for laying down, otherwise, because it's very, very sticky. So I do recommend doing that, and then cut out the size you want once you've laid it down onto your cardstock. But it makes for a lovely background, that, doesn't it? Look at that. And then I've got another brown layer. We're going for the layers today. There we are. And then our beautiful image is going to go on there. Make sure I'm opening it the right way. Come on, Caroline. Double check, double check. Sometimes when you're in a rush, it's so easy to forget. Just the basic things to check. I mean, 240 GSM, super smooth white from Pink Frog. And look at the amount of water and stuff I've put on there. And it's gone on a dream, hasn't it? Let me just, yeah, it's okay. Look at that for a framed picture. But I've not finished yet. What I did was, I had some die cuts, and I thought if I put I could put a fence along here like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my walnut stain. Let me get my brush. I always use my Imala brushes because they really are wonderful. So just thought I'd do this in real time rather than pre-do it, so you can see how easy they are with this walnut stain, cutting out in white cardstock. I can see that there are some little holes not come out there. That one's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do hope that you'll be able to get this Inkscape set, because it really is lovely to play with. I do recommend it. So you've got your fence going from that side and your fence from that side and a gate in the middle here. So this should fit okay. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut off those two little ends. Find my scissors. Just cut off those little ends there. Oops. I just knocked my water over. Sorry. So I'll glue this on, because I wanted it to be very much a 3D type look of a card. And then the gate. So this is a garden, isn't it, that you walk at, that you know you're visiting. So that's fit very. I mean that this fence die. It's just a generic one. You get it off Amazon or eBay, somewhere like that. And then I had, I cut out some like foliage that could fit behind there as well, like that. So I'll glue that. Make a lovely card for someone. This. I'd actually done one of these as well that sort of went up the side, but I changed my mind and went for the fence. And there's an extra little bit of grass here. And I had a grass dye that I thought might be nice along where, around the gate as well. But not sure about that. I think it might have been better behind, possibly behind the fence. But what I'll do is I'll just cut. There's a bit of grass growing to there. A little bit of grass growing up that side of the fence. Obviously the gate's always being open, so you don't need it there. So, you know, get your foliage dyes out and, you know, layer it up like that. Again on this side. Just take that little end off. So like I say, you can build this up like this, or you can just leave it as it is. And you know, it's quite nice just to play around with what you've got. Build it up. And I think sometimes a card like this, you don't want to put sort of happy birthday on or whatever, because I think the card speaks for itself. When you open it, your message is sort of in there. I have some flowers, but I just feel like they're too big for this card. Got a butterfly if I want that. Not bothered. So let me get my black card and push them to the side. Excuse me. And I'll put that on there. You could even have behind the gate a little bit of grass, couldn't you? But I don't want that on. I'm not going to bother with that. And on your gate, get your ground espresso. A little bit of your ground espresso. And just shade down your gate. And then it's not flat. So your light coming in from this side. Just along the tops there. There we are. Well, we've had a jolly good play with that, haven't we, today? with these Inkscapes, and you know, how enjoyable is that to make as an image and a card for someone. And I'll probably do this as a giveaway if somebody wants the card, and I'm happy to do that. And I may shade this grass in as well with a bit of forest moss. You know, like I say, it's sort of never ending when you can do your colouring. Sort of it's not as bright, because I didn't have that was the only green I had. But that's made a difference to that, hasn't it? But it's not as sort of in your face. And of course you can use your grass green. And your mowed lawn. So, I don't know what you're saying. Come on, Caroline. Go and get your cup of coffee. Once you start. A little bit of green in here. Just a bit of green on the path there. There we are. Yes, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, give us a thumbs up. Any feedback, you know, just let me know if you have any feedback, and anything you need to know, anything you need help with, always happy to help. And if you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for joining me today. See you soon. Bye bye.